Hey, I'm Matt Manning. Thanks so much for watching today's devotional. Today we're talking about hot kitchen. You ever heard that phrase, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen? That phrase was first used by President Harry S. Truman, who is credited for saying this about people he worked with that couldn't keep up with him and his pretty busy schedule. Stress and pressure can make even the best of us anxious and worried. But what's interesting, in our verse of scripture today we're studying 1 Peter. Peter talks about this process of purifying through stress and pressure. One of the most ancient forms of purifying gold is to place it in fire. The process is still used today. The temperature at which gold is purified can be in excess of 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And as the impurities rise to the surface, they're then skimmed off of the surface by the metallurgist or whoever's working with the gold there. The end result is a pure bar of gold. Peter was a man who understood what it meant to go through the pressure cooker, to be put in the hot seat, to face tough, strenuous, stretching situations. He faced immense pressure, and guess what? He failed, even in the midst of the test. He denied Jesus. And yet he was able to write these words for us to Christians who were scattered throughout the known world, who were facing similar pressures just as he had in his past. His response and encouragement to them was this pressure is worth more than purified gold. It's quite an amazing response. He talks about this, that God allows stress-filled times into our lives so that we draw closer to God, and that as we draw closer to God, He can then make us more like Him. And this is far more valuable than any amount of gold. And so whatever situation you're facing today, however much pressure you're going through, we can ask God to help us to have the mindset of Peter, and that is to have a perspective that this pressure is purifying and of greater value because it's drawing us closer to God, and it's building our faith in God to trust Him, that ultimately everything's going to be okay. Our encouragement is taken from the scriptures of 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 through 8 today. Thanks so much for joining me.